because the most frustrating thing with the job search is like when people keep doing the same thing over and over, expecting to get different results. That's not smart. It's how you waste your time and you get really, really frustrated. So what you want to do is you look at what's working, you keep doing it. If something is not working, you change it up, or maybe you stop doing it completely. Now I know a lot of people, when you're in the middle of a job search, it doesn't feel this way, but there actually are a ton of jobs out there and employers are hiring today. Regardless of COVID, they are hiring. Recruiters are looking right now but companies are looking for talent to help them get through this recovery. So many of the employers are actually using these massive layoffs and furloughs as an opportunity to skill up their workforce. So even if companies did lay off, don't let them not be in a target list. Odds are they're hiring at the same time. Of how to get a job today is, first of all, you have to clarify your goal so that you're crystal clear on who it is you want to work for and what you offer them. The next thing is you have to really be able to articulate your personal brand. Like, what's the unique value that you offer that somebody else doesn't? There's tons of people in manufacturing. What is your niche? What is your specialty? What makes you better than the next guy who's applying for the same job? And you really need to do, like, this is the prep work that is the foundation for a successful job search. It helps you with your elevator pitch. It helps you focus so that you're looking at the right types of jobs. It helps you with your resume, your LinkedIn profile, and just even the way you answer the questions during the interview. So this prep work, you can't skip over it. A lot of people do, and they jump right into their resume. Well, if you don't know what your resume should say, how can you write it? The thing about the resume is you're writing it for your audience. You're not writing it for you. You're also writing it for your next role. So it needs to be aspirational in nature, not historical. So forget about it being a laundry list of everything you've done. That's the way resumes used to be, but they've changed drastically in the last 5 years. The resumes have changed, and what the employers are looking for a resume has changed, but the job seekers have not changed. So that's why other career services professionals like myself, we try to get the word out to everybody. It's like, what you're doing doesn't work anymore. That stopped working in about 2005 or 2010. What you really need to do is switch it up 180 degrees. Know this, it's marketing 101. You are the product. You need to identify your target audience, sell the product, so you on your features and benefits, and just pique their interest so they want to learn more about you. And then besides, articulating your brands, the next step is you need to have a plan, an action plan, because people want, of course, that goal is to get that next job. But if you do steps 1, 2, and 3, then when you get to step 4 and 5, odds are you'll be more successful. Because these really are building blocks. So a lot of times I encourage people when we first start working together, even when they start implementing tips that I'm sharing at places like today, the first thing you do is you take down all those various versions of your resume that are all over the stratosphere. Because what it's doing, you do need to, tailor your resume to the jobs, which means most of us have dozens of different versions of resumes out there. Well, what you're doing is confusing the hiring managers. They need to see exactly who you are and exactly what you can do for them.
That's what you mean.
Yep, take all those off, because what you're doing is you're portraying, most odds are, you're portraying an inconsistent brand out there. So first you want to bring it all down and you want to control your brand. So, and it's as simple as just figuring out what it is that you want to do. It could be, okay, I am an operations director in the manufacturing sphere. Okay, great. Now you need to get more focused. What's your specialty? And believe it or not, the terms transferable skills will derail your job search. What you say, what people hear when you say that is, uh-oh, she doesn't have experience in my area. And they stop listening. So what you want to do is you want to convince them by telling the truth, always be genuine and authentic and truthful, that you do have the knowledge that they need. So your resume, you never use a functional resume. Recruiters can't stand them because it's harder for them to figure out where you did what. So you always want the reverse chronological resume. But the way the resumes have changed is now they give that branding summary at the top. And what that does is it frames how the reader thinks about you. So you want to let them know, this is who I am, this is my specialty, and this is what I can do for you. And what do they want? How you can help them make money. Every single person in the organization either helps bring money in or helps save money. Some things are harder to quantify with a dollar figure, like HR. So in HR, the way that you make sure that the way that you help, you contribute to the overall organizational success, is you make sure they have a fantastic talent pool. They have exactly who they need to get them where they're going to be tomorrow. And then, so when you have that branding statement, it's like, okay, this is who I am and what I'm going to do for you today and tomorrow. Then you use quantified achievements, so specific achievements from throughout your career that are like the proof of those statements you just made. So yes, we do include information on all your previous jobs, but it has to be achievement-based, not task-based. I research all the time what the employers are looking for, what the skills, what they actually want to see on that resume to make their life easier. I stay up on all the online applicant tracking system technology every month, because that's changing, and just everything else. How to prepare for the interviews, but then also how to research companies. So what you want to do is, hey, you've put together your branding statement and you worked on a really great resume. No matter how wonderful your resume is, if it stays in your hands, it does you no good. You need to get it into the hands of the right people. So what I encourage everyone to make a list of 10 to 15 companies where they want to work. And that's where you focus your effort. And so then your next step is going to be, okay, so you want to do research to make sure the companies are right in terms of the size and the scope. If you want to work for a smaller organization, make sure you focus on smaller organizations. If you want global multinationals, then that's where you want to focus. And we have all this information right at our fingertips. It's never been easier to job search with the internet. No more walking down the street and knocking on doors. Now what you really can do is you have the whole world at your disposal with the internet. So then once your resume is killer, then you know who you're going to reach out to, then you want to gain exposure. So that's when you carry your brand over to your LinkedIn profile. So a lot of people, they spend a lot of time on their resume and that looks really, really good, but then they just quickly whip out a little LinkedIn profile. That doesn't work, because that's what the employers are looking for you. It's like 90% of the companies out there, especially all the Fortune 500s, they're looking for top talent on LinkedIn. So that's where you need to be. You need a consistent brand. So it's not just a copying of your resume, but it complements your resume, but it's getting to know you. So you have to use that summary section to tell your story. Why are you so excited about your field? What makes you so good at your field? And you want to let them have it's like a little introduction to you, and so that they want to meet you. And you have to have a photo out there, and it should be a current photo. Don't really worry about ageism. There's ways to get around that on the resume, and I can answer any questions about that. There's also a ton of that on my website, because that is a valid thing. The most important thing is let people know I'm at the prime of my career, because they're wondering, are you past your peak? So you say, I'm at the prime of my career, and this is what I offer you, and this is why you need me. You have to show them that you know what it is that they need. And then age doesn't become an issue. One thing you want to take out of your, whenever you describe anything, but whether it's verbally or in writing, do not say you had 37 years of experience. Yes, you actually don't want, they say, if the only thing you can describe about your experience is the number of years, then that's not much. So you actually want to try to write your elevator pitch as well as your branding summary without putting in the number of years, because that usually just hurts you rather than helping you. So then you have the great LinkedIn profile. What you want to do is draw attention to your profile. The way that you do that is to have 100% complete, and it's all search engine optimized. Because almost every field on your profile is searchable. So have all those keywords, all those key qualifications in there. Then you need a wide network. The more people that you're connected with, the more resources you have out there. They may not have a job for you, but their brother might, or someone may say, hey, I see that you used to work in this company. Can you let me know what the culture is like? You can always reach out to people. But then what you want to do is you want to find out who your boss would be at that company. If you were to get your dream job, I say dream because you want it to be a realistic dream, but a lofty one. You know, do not settle, because if you settle, then you're just not putting out your best self. You want to figure out, who would your boss be? Oh, okay, that's the regional director of sales development. Okay, let's figure out who that person is in New England. And then you try to get in front of them. LinkedIn is a great way to do that. And again, I share stuff on LinkedIn all the time about how to do that, because that's what people's main stumbling block. And then I'll just one more second, and then I'll let somebody else speak. Do not waste all your time on job boards. That's only 20% of the jobs are out there, so don't spend more than 20% of your time out there. It's really not what it is, not where it is, the jobs are, and that's like push marketing. That means your only exposure out there are the individual jobs you apply for. So what you really want to do is you want pull marketing, which is to draw the attention to your LinkedIn profile so that the thousands of recruiters see you as opposed to the 9 jobs that you applied for. And many companies now, what they're doing is they don't post something externally until they have to. So you want the warm introductions. You want to find out about the openings before other people do. You want to make friends with people like Jane, recruiters, who they know they have the postings in their hand they're trying to fill. So if you just let them know, but again, you don't just come, hey, Jane, you have a job for me? I mean, you always have to build a relationship first, and then hopefully the conversations will progress to a point where they know your areas of expertise, because it's in her best interest to get the best person in the job, right? A recruiter, well, depending if they're a contingent recruiter or a company recruiter, a lot of contingent ones don't get paid till they have the job filled. If they're a company recruiter, it's still their job. They have an ongoing number of slots. They want to fill that job and move on to the next one. So you're really on the same side of the table. A lot of times job seekers see recruiters as the bad guys. They're not. You want a job. They are the people with the job. But so you have to make it a relationship. It's not just, hey, you have something, can you do something for me? Because no one likes that. So anything that you would do in personal life in terms of common courtesy and like your face-to-face networking, make sure you carry the same courtesy over to your social network.